Hey y'all, have you ever had a leftover dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts? Yeah, me either. But if you do find yourself in that sticky situation, I have the perfect leftover donut dessert recipe for you. Krispy Kreme! It is not a trip to Krispy Kreme without sneaking a donut on the car ride home. I am so excited about getting started on this recipe, the ultimate Krispy Kreme donut bread pudding. I am pumped. We're gonna use a full dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm cutting these into bite-sized pieces. I think in the recipe it says cut it into 8 pieces, but really if you can bite into it, it's the perfect size. That's it. I have all my donuts cut into bite-sized pieces. Now I just have to mix up the custard. It's 4 eggs, and this is half and half. This is a 1/3 cup of sugar. Most bread pudding recipes actually use more sugar than that, but since the donuts are covered in sugar, you can cut back a little bit in the custard. Half teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm patting these donuts down a little bit into the pan, but not too much because you don't want them to be too squished together. Very carefully, I'm going to pour this custard over the donuts. You really want the donut pieces to soak up all of this custardy goodness. After you pat it down, you want to make sure there aren't really big pockets of custard, so just kind of cover them up with donuts so you don't see a lot of custard on the top, you want to see a lot of donut. After this soaks for an hour, you are going to need to make a water bath. When I was writing this recipe, I specifically designed it so that it would fit inside of an 11x7 baking dish so that that dish would fit right inside of a 9x13. You need to fill it up with water, and you really only want the water to come halfway up of the 11x7 dish. So I have this at 325. It bakes for 40 minutes, and then we're gonna take it out of the oven and we get to eat the bread pudding. While that is cooling, I'm going to get started on the butter bourbon sauce that we are going to spoon over this bread pudding. The base of this butter bourbon sauce is actually caramel. This is the scariest part of this recipe, and it's not even scary. If you've never made caramel before, this is a good way to get yourself into it. Caramel, y'all, literally is burnt sugar. So you're gonna cook your sugar until it darkens in color. It starts with a cup of sugar, about 3 tablespoons of water, corn syrup. Over about medium heat, you want to whisk all of this together. I'm doing this in a heavy bottom skillet. You do not want to do this in a nonstick, and you don't want to do this in any skillet that is really lightweight. Also, no cast iron. This is an enameled cast iron dish, which works well. If it was just the plain black iron, you couldn't make caramel in it. It would be too sticky and you'd never get it clean. You'll know when your sugar is dissolved whenever the mixture starts bubbling and becomes clear, and at that point you can stop whisking and then let the caramel do its magic. You can see the edges of the caramel starting to turn color, which is normal. You're looking to have the entire thing almost brown. There will be a little bit of clear spot in the middle. Word to the wise, this stuff is hot. Don't get it on you. Once it's almost all the way brown, you want to take it off of the heat and then stand back. You're gonna pour in 3/4 cup of cream, and it's gonna bubble a lot. Ooh yeah, look at that. So I just turned this from caramel to caramel sauce. While it's still bubbling, you wanna put in butter. I'm using bourbon with this, but you could also do rum. And then because it's all the rage these days, salted caramel. So I'm gonna do about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and then give it a good stir. Caramel sauce. This is super hot, so let it cool for about 5 minutes while you serve your bread pudding. Look how quick and easy this recipe was. I think it's one of my new favorites in my make-ahead arsenal. If you want more decadent but easy recipes like this one, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you're watching on YouTube, click the bell. We'll see you next time on Hey Y'all.